Alright, so what's going on YouTube, man? Let's get into this real fast. And this is a question that you need to ask yourself. So, a question was posed to me like, what do you feel about stocks? Okay? Now, I just want to say, before I get into stocks, I want to just say this. Any type of investment that's going to bring you more income back, I'm all for it. Whether it's a business, a CD, real estate, whatever. The key is to invest in it and bring more back. Now, a lot of people may say right now, hey, you know what? I'm not investing in more companies. I don't like stocks, blah, blah, blah. You know, a lot of people are saying that right now. But there's something I want to tell you guys, and you can do the research on it for yourself, is this. In the Great Depression, there was more the Great Depression, not that they created, but there was more millionaires created in the Great Depression than were at any time in history. And I guarantee you, after this down economy, and when they start researching, they'll find the same thing is true in this situation. And the reason why that is because really, it's like Black Friday right now for people who have an intelligent mind and know finance, and for the real people who have money. The example. A lot of people were exposed during this economy. There's a lot of people out there who pretended to be rich. They were on a $50,000 a year salary, but they were living in $1 million neighborhoods. They were driving Mercedes-Benz and cars, and they never had any savings, and they never had anything. They lost their jobs, and everything just went bad. The subprime mortgages, you know, people going into homes they know they couldn't afford, but they just wanted to get a home for the so-called American dream, what actually turned into the American nightmare. Okay? Now, I do believe in stocks. Warren Buffett, one of the best stock pickers out there, has a pretty simple strategy. And his strategy is, someone asked him one time, hey, when is the best time to sell a stock? And his response to that was, never. You just invest in the good companies. Now a company I'm invested in right now is Walmart. Some people say that GE is undervalued right now. That's another good company. I invested in Walmart after I read the book about Sam Walton, the creator of Walmart. I like his work ethic and the way the company was built. So I agree with Walmart. But that's just me. I know about 2 success stories with stocks. Because a lot of people don't invest in it because they say, well, what am I going to get out of it? They don't see the end result. There was this gentleman I met in a Chinese restaurant, and the guy was about 40-something years old, and he told me he was retired. So I was like, okay, what did you do? He said, well, I was a janitor at first in a stockbroking company, and I wanted to learn what they did. And I was like, hey, maybe I'm interested in this job. And then they told him, hey, if you invest your own money into something, we'll teach you the business. So long story short, he invested the money. He was able to retire because of dividends. So he learned about companies, he learned about how to benefit from dividends, and he knew how much he wanted to make per year. And he worked that strategy, and he worked for it. You know, so I've seen that work. I've seen a lady who was the second highest shareholder in Greyhound bus company. And she received, because with dividends you get paid those every 3 months, she received about $15,000 every 3 months. And she still was able to keep her shares that intact that she had. You know, those are 2 success stories. They have passive income coming from that investment they made. I have a buddy that's invested in real estate. You know, he invested into 2 homes, and he turned those homes into Section 8. That's another program you guys need to do some research on, especially for you real estate investors. But basically, long story short, what it is it's when the state steps in, and for someone who can actually pay rent or can't afford to pay rent, usually single mothers or someone that's fallen on hard times financially, they step in and they pay the rent, and you only pay a small amount. So he gets about $4,000 a month between the 2 properties on that, and He went in and put a big down payment on the home, so his mortgage is nowhere near that. So he's making money off of that, and he's getting his mortgage paid for. Basically, all it boils down to is this, guys. There are a lot of tools out there for investment, whether it's business, whether it's stocks, CDs, real estate. But I can tell you this, any of those instruments is better than when you just put money in a bank or when you don't do anything with it. You know, a lot of people's habits when it comes to spending is they make money, they spend money. And one thing I've noticed that worked for me is when I set my money up on automatic terms, it works for me. And what I mean by that is this. If you, for instance, I save $300 a month on an emergency fund, but it comes out of my pay automatically, regardless. Because how many of you out there are doing this? I'm going to save $200 a month. So 1 month you save it for 3 months, then all of a sudden, boom, an emergency comes. You're like, oh, I can't save it this month. And then something happens next month, and then you catch up the next month. You see, you got to have this as a part of your life. It has to be automatic. You have to tell yourself, look, I want to erase any error in this. I know this is something I need. I know this is an emergency fund I need, so I need to set myself for it. Because, guys, I'm telling you, that emergency fund is very important, you know. But, yeah, I'm just kind of rambling on. But what I'm trying to get at is this, you know, you got to put your money somewhere. The people who have been successful have invested their money, you know. So you have to be smart about it. If you don't like stocks, you know, hey, you definitely can choose real estate. Or you can invest in yourself and create something, create a business. You know, I like the Subway franchise, McDonald's franchise, you know. Or if you don't want to go that route, create your own business with some passive income. But just do something. So the last question I'm going to ask you guys is this. How much are you saving per month? I just want to hear it, you know, not just for myself, but just for yourself. I just want you to just speak it out loud. This is what I'm saving per month. You know, I got to go to save more, but this is what I'm doing right now. Some of you guys are saving $2,000, $3,000 a month. But just let me get some feedback on that. So until next time, guys, signing off.